So today we're going to go ahead and replace the front brakes and rotors on a 2012 CRV. Just got the CRV, so I was going to go ahead and replace everything just to be safe. It needed back brakes and rotors. I've already done that video. I'll put a link to it in the descriptions if you want to go back and look at that one as well. Just wanted to show you guys I'm using Honda OEM parts. Just want to show you what it comes with. Here's the front brake set, and in that kit you get all the front brake pads for both sides. You get some of the metal backings, you get 4 of the clips, and you get some of the grease. Just want to point out, make sure you look at your parts in detail. This one here, I don't know if you can see it, this tab on this side over here is actually bent. Yeah, right there. So I'm gonna have to bend that back just so I can use it. Also inspect, there's a hole that was put into the grease here, so it kind of got over everything, so I had to clean everything up. It didn't get on the pads, so that was good. The rotor right here, let me show you the part number. Here's the front rotor, and here's the OEM rotor. So before you put these on, spray these down, wipe them off. What I use, I don't have any brake cleaner. I just use the contact cleaner. I use this for a lot of stuff. It evaporates faster than brake cleaner, so that's why I like using it. I'll put a link in the description. I'll do an Amazon link, but just to let you know, it's a lot cheaper buying this and even brake cleaner from Walmart. So that's where I go to get all my stuff. Not all my stuff. It's where I go to get this. Okay. A lot of people overlook this, and I just want to point it out. Right here is the brake reservoir, whatever how you call it. It's where you put the brake fluid. Anyway, when I bought this car, the one reason I knew it needed brakes is you can see the fluid is almost down to the minimum, and it's kind of dark, so I'll probably replace that. I forgot to get brake fluid, but anyway, that can be another video. But what you want to do is when you replace the brakes, you're going to squeeze the pistons out so you can get the new pads in. What happens is brakes wear, the fluid goes down. It's not leaking anywhere, it's just going into the system because the pad wears out. Therefore, hydraulic brakes ends up filling up that gap. So the fluid's not anywhere, but where I'm going with this is as I push the brake pistons back into the calipers, this fluid is going to go up, and I'll show you that in the video. What happens is if people fill this up because they think it's low and then they go to replace the brakes, you're going to have to drain some of this out because you're not going to be able to push it back. And if you do take the top off with this being full and you push the pistons in, it's going to ooze all over, down in here, everywhere else, and brake fluid will end up eating paint off and ruining plastic. But so anyway, I'm going to take this off. I haven't taken it off yet, but I just want to show you guys. There's a cover on here, and you could wiggle this out and all that stuff, but don't bother. There's a tab right here. You just push that tab. There's another tab here. You kind of push that out. See, the cover comes off. Don't forget to put that back on. Then what you're going to do is you just twist it. And it comes off, and you can just pull it out. What is that? Okay, like I said, I just bought this car and I haven't looked at it. Oh, looky there. Looks like a little tree is going to start growing. Okay, so that's just a note. If you take this off, you can see there's some debris and stuff. Obviously, whoever took that off last time didn't clean everything out. And obviously, you can see I did not clean it out either. That looks like it's sitting in there. You want to get that out. If that breaks down and gets into your brake system, it's not going to be pretty. So this just comes out. You can see I'll clean that. Luckily, there's a screen in there. I want to make sure the screen is not torn. Nope, it's good to go. All right, and then we can just look in there. It's pretty nasty. So I'm gonna clean that out. I'm not gonna clean it out now. I'm gonna clean out the green stuff in there. Get that, I'll probably just use paper towel or something. But I'm not gonna change the fluid or suck out the old fluid until I push it all back in there. So we'll get back to this later in the video. Okay, I just wiped it down with the paper towel. See right there? That's not a snot rag. Anyway, I'm just gonna rest this on top. Oh, side note, do not spray brake cleaner on this. This is rubber. Brake cleaner will eventually swell rubber up. So I'm just gonna rest this on here. That way no debris falls in there. Do not forget when you're done to tighten that. Okay. Okay, so I went ahead and cleaned this out. I sprayed some contact cleaner on it. I'll show you in a minute. And I just wiped this out with the paper towel. So I'm gonna put this back in here just to keep anything from falling in there. Oops. I guess I could show you. Just keep anything from falling in there. And then just gonna look at this cap. Doesn't look too bad. I'm gonna clean that and then I'll just stick the cap back on there as well. Okay, this is the front brake caliper. What I'm gonna do is these bolts back here are 12mm socket, and the ones back behind here are 19. So I like breaking these loose while it's all together, but I'm also, before I take it off, I'm gonna collapse the piston. Okay, so I'm gonna go at a different angle. I'm gonna put it over here, have the breaker bar go this way. That way I can get more leverage when I lift up. Don't have a whole lot of room, so I'm hoping this will work. All right, got that one. The bottom, same way. Oh, crap. All right, it's hard to see, but I'm gonna try to do the bottom where I can use more force to lift up. I don't have hardly any room down there. This may not work. Okay, so in here, since I can't really push down a whole lot, I'm going to use my leg to break that loose. So I'm going to move the camera. Let me just try it. All right, caliper broken loose. I'm gonna go ahead, or not the caliper, the brackets. Go ahead and take these out. Okay, now once those are taken out, you just lift this up. You wanna look around the piston, see if there's any moisture or anything. So I'm just going to set this right here, make sure it doesn't fall. You can put a bungee cord or something. Right now I'm just going to leave it on there. You do not want it to dangle. You got some clips here, just take those off. They just pull out. Just remember the angle that they go, or the direction. This right here is your wear indicators. You can see It's all the way down, ready to be replaced. I probably don't have to replace the rotors, but since we just bought this car and I'm replacing the back rotors, I just went ahead. I'm just going to replace everything. So just a note, this is the outside pad, and this one big bracket is on the outside pad. Well, can't get that other one out, so I'm just going to remove the bracket. Got to remove it anyway. Here's the other pad. You can see the one that goes on the piston is over. It's just a single side. Here is the wear indicator. Oh, let me take it out and show you. Basically, as this wears down, that squeaking noise you always hear hits on this. And it was almost there. So these pads definitely need to be replaced. So just to show you, here's the wear indicators. If you look at them, once it wears down to this, you need pads. That's also the same distance for the wear indicator. So I have seen these break off before. So if your brakes are squealing and all of a sudden it stopped, doesn't mean that the brakes are good. A lot of times it means this thing has busted off. Okay, on this, I'm going to go ahead and clean these sliders. They're not too bad. I'm going to clean them, put some grease back in there. On here, I'm going to clean up this area. Just want to make sure there's no rust. It doesn't look too bad, but I'm going to clean this up as well. I have a wire brush that I'll clean in here. Actually, it's right here. I'll just do this with the wire brush. Spray some contact cleaner in there. Just get any of the extra debris off. So I'll do that just to show you these here. To get this off, you just pull this up and pull it down. Oh, guess you can't see that. Pull up the slider and then the rubber just pulls down. And then it comes out. And there's your gunk. So I'm going to clean it out here and then put new grease in there. And just to show you, you want to make sure there's no rust and stuff in here. You don't want to see any pinholes in here. As I put it back in, since I'm right here, I'm just going to show you now. You just push it in and just put it up. And you could push it down in, make sure that it's sealed everywhere. And that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this up and get it ready for installation. Actually, before I do that, let's go ahead and take the rotor off. Since we're here, I gotta do the rotor anyway. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and remove this. There's two screws right here that hold it. Usually they're in there pretty good. So what I suggest using is an impact driver. That way you don't strip the stuff out. So usually what I do is just put the bit in there, hit it a few times, stick the impact driver in there, and you turn it to the left because I'm going to the left. I want it to loosen, so you go to the left and then you hit it. Oh, I guess you can't see. Anyway, once it's there, you just hit it really hard and it gives it a shock to the left. Oh. Crap. That one's stripping out. That's not good. Okay. Let's try to do the other one. Guess I have to do a video to show how to get a stripped one out. Okay, so the problem with this one, I was giving it little love taps. You don't want to give it a love tap. You want to hit the damn thing. So, now that one's stripped out, you want to re-flatten it. I don't know if you guys can see in there. Alright, so what I'm going to do is try to re-flatten it. Let me go get a punch. Alright, so I got a punch here. Just going to go ahead and flatten it again. So what I'm hoping to do is do it where I don't have to drill it out. Make sure your brake caliper, well, you didn't see it, make sure your brake caliper does not fall off and dangle. Alright, let's give this a try. Remember, hit it hard. I already have it twisted. There we go. Alright, so I got lucky. First time around, just giving it little love taps. Screw those love taps. Treat it like you're supposed to treat it, alright? So let me show you. Okay, come on, focus. Anyway, can't really see it, but it's starting to strip out. I got lucky. So obviously I'm not going to reuse that one. Okay. Oop, gotta take the other one out. These are loose, so I'm just using a flathead screwdriver. That's how it's supposed to look. Okay. Now, you can put screws in here, and it'll push to the back and it'll pull it out. Since I'm not reusing these, I'm just going to hit it with a hammer. Obviously there's rust around here. Fancy.
Oh, on your saw?
Well, I can't get it off.
Yeah. This is like just like taking it out. Obviously, I'm not gonna like keep it like hard parted down the middle because but it's so curly and weak.
Was it wet when you did it?
No, but it was like I washed my hair that morning, so it could have been a little damp, but it wasn't really wet. Yeah.
Cool.
He was debating if I wanted to keep it on one more night. I was like, no, I'll probably wash my hair tonight because I wouldn't want it to be greasy for school tomorrow. So.
Yeah. Cool. Man, this is rusted on here. Okay, so this hammer wasn't working very well, so I had to go try to find my other hammer, which I found it. It's not much bigger. I'm hoping I can get this thing off. Okay, what I did obviously is what you saw. I turned the wheel so I can try to get more leverage. There, finally. Man, that was a pain. Alright, so lesson learned. Turn this first. some rust on there. There we go. This is why you can't reuse it if you beat on them. So, just a FYI. Do not reuse them if you're gonna beat on it. So, what I'm gonna do, since I'm gonna take a wire wheel to this and clean it up. Let's clear up some of that rust. Oh, boys and girls, make sure you wear your safety glasses. So we're going to go clean off the brake rotor, and then we'll put the brake rotor back on. Also, like I said, I'm going to clean off this stuff. Yeah, so like I was saying, I'm gonna go ahead and take these out. Just pull them up. And I'm gonna clean those off just with paper towel, put some grease back on, stick them in there. All right, be right back. Okay, here's the new rotor. I've already sprayed this, wiped it down, got any kind of grease residue off it. Once again, this is the OEM rotor. So, just to show you guys, remember we had 2 of these set screws. Well, now there's only 1 hole. So you're gonna have to line it up accordingly. So, it's to the left of the hole, so right here's where the screw hole is. Right here's where, oops, right here's where it goes through. Here's your lug. It only goes on one way. that. So since I only have one screw that is not jacked up, it works out. So I guess the new rotors had a cost down. They said, we don't need 2 screws, you just do 1. So we're doing 1 screw. You just want to snug that, you don't have to go crazy with it. And our new rotor's on. A lot easier than taking it off, isn't it? Okay. Clean this up. End up greasing these. I put a little bit of grease on the tabs. I'm not sure what the torque is. I just make sure it's good and tight. Okay, just remember to put your metal brackets on there. This one's goes out here. You just slide them in there. All right, got the new pads in there. Look at that, you hear that? That's the sound of goodness. Okay, anyway, come back to reality. All right, so put these in here. Make sure you hold it. Learn from my mistakes. I'm just gonna try to sandwich it. There we go. All right, everything's tight. I'm good to go. I like to press the brakes before I put everything back on. So like I said, I did the rear yesterday, so there'll be a video on that. If you found anything in here helpful, please go ahead and subscribe. This is our car, so I'll probably do other repairs on it as I find it needed. So go ahead and subscribe, help me out if this helped you out. All right, thanks for watching. Okay, just for reference, the oil now is here. Remember when we started, it was way down here. I didn't add any oil, all I did was replaced all the brakes. So which means I pushed in the caliper pistons, and all that extra fluid, brake oil, brake fluid, whatever you want to call it, is now raised up. So I just want to show you before and after.